Alright. Snap, snap. Get the video synced. How do I even start this? It's a week before Halloween. I'm not in Colorado anymore. I'm back in college. Back in Ohio. Well, I'm in Michigan right now, but going to Ohio. I haven't had any time really to make any more videos. I wanted to, I just haven't found the time. Classes have taken up a lot of my time, as well as Ultimate Frisbee and a couple other things. But I'm here now because I've kind of had an itch to do this, and I finally downloaded some of the footage from back in the summer and decided that, you know, it's 10:47 p.m. right now. Maybe I can make a video in like 2 or 3 hours and kind of just get it done. Because I want to. I don't know. I want to keep making progress on this. So here's what the summary of the video is. It is back in June, picking up where we left off, and it is where I went in Colorado. I went to two places. One is what's it called? I don't even remember the name. Royal Gorge Bridge. Yeah, Royal Gorge Bridge. No, yes, yeah. And then back to Garden of the Gods for a second time with a friend this time. And some interesting stuff happened. So I guess this is a video kind of just summing that up and putting it out there. So I don't know what this is going to look like at all. I don't know if it'll be any good with the time I'm given and how long ago it was now, but we're going to try. And I mean, I've got a lot of other stuff to do, so a lot of other videos to do, rather. So we'll see how this turns out. Here goes nothing. Head to Arkansas Ridge Canyon right now. It's 4 p.m., about half an hour away. It was 90 earlier, now it's nice and 75. It's been pouring on and off this whole time on the way there. I hope it's not going to rain much when we get there, but we'll see. Yeah, I did a time-lapse at the Garden of the Gods. That was really cool during sunset. Hoping to do another one today. We'll see how it looks. Got my GoPro, got the bag, got the backpack, the battery pack. Looking forward to this. Hopefully there's a gift shop still open by the time I get there. I'll get there around 5. Can buy more stickers because I love buying stickers. And check it out and hike around a while and see how it goes. So, we'll see. Well, I made it. That's the good news. The bad news is it's pouring outside. It's not supposed to do this in Colorado, and it's done it like twice in the past 2 weekends. Whatever. Hopefully it'll blow over. I don't think these things take long. There's a gift shop outside. I'm just gonna go in there, chill, hang out, look at some stuff. And fingers crossed that this doesn't last all day. I'll be here for a couple hours at least waiting, because I spent 2 hours driving here, so not gonna leave that easy. It is also super windy outside. Hang on. I assume it's because of the elevation, but yeah. So this kind of sucks right now, but silver lining, maybe when it stops raining, there'll be less people. Hopefully. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna go in there, check it out. All right, it's 5:30. Rain's pretty much done. I just found out they close at 7. So I'm gonna risk it, and we're gonna go out there on the Royal Gorge Bridge. Hopefully it doesn't rain again. We'll see. But yeah, I got an hour and a half. Let's do this.
In this abandoned amusement park, we come to life when it turns dark. We're just carnival hearts, you and me. In a swirl of flashing lights, we're the lost ones in the night. Got our fingers intertwined, wild and free. A pathetic neon sign lights the corner of my eye. Welcome to the Midway. Welcome to our stomping grounds. Broken bottles, spilling dreams. I can almost hear the screams. Silence is the only There's no one else but us around. Let's make some noise. In this abandoned amusement park, we come to life when it turns dark. We're just carnival hearts, you and me. You and me. In a swirl of flashing lights, we're the lost ones in the night. Got our fingers intertwined, wild and free. Wild and free. Don't turn off the stars. We got carnival hearts. Don't turn off the stars. We got carnival hearts. We were black to mourn the loss of all the rebels without a cause. Life is just a ring toss. And baby, you're the boss of my psychedelic funhouse soul. You're the only one I need to know. No one else but us.
Alright, good news. Truck just drove by and they didn't kick me out. They didn't even say anything to me. They're out there. This is my phone now. I just set up the time lapse. How do I switch this thing? That's not it. Oh, I can't switch the camera. Okay, well, whatever. There's the GoPro. There's the view. I'm so paranoid and terrified that this thing's gonna fall or something. It shouldn't. It's kind of windy, but yeah, that would suck. But I'm the only one out here. Like, there is no one. So, oh no, there's a couple people coming on the other side of the bridge. Never mind. But yeah, it just poured. And they're open for another hour or so. I'm trying to do a quick time lapse. Hopefully it'll turn out all right, because this is a really cool spot to do it. And yeah, this is Royal Gorge. It's really pretty. Even if it is only an hour, 2 hours that I get here. I had to pay $35 or something like that. Well worth it for sure. And maybe I'll be white rafting down there. Next week, 2 weeks from now. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah. So that's what's up. I'm probably just gonna chill here for the next hour and a half until I can't anymore. All right. Well, my trip got cut short. It's 6:40 right now, but not because of the rain. Man, how do I even explain this? So I was out there and at the Royal Gorge Bridge, and I used this little tripod thing, and just like, it's got little flexible legs, so I just tied it up on like the fence they had on the bridge and set up my GoPro to do a little time lapse. Because the rain had just subsided, the sun was kind of coming out. I thought it'd be super cool. And I was doing that for 20 minutes or so, and I was just kind of hanging out. I was eating a sandwich, just chilling on the bridge, and like a park ranger comes by,
and he kind of says he has a little go-kart little thing, and he pulls up and he says, "Hey, how are you doing?" You know, I say, "I'm fine. You know, can I help you?" He's like, "Is there anything going on?" He's like, "No. I'm just making sure that, you know, everything's all right with you." I was a little confused in my head, like, yeah, everything's good, everything's fine. You can check my backpack if you want. Like, I'm good. I'm just getting a time lapse of the bridge right now, or the view out of the bridge right now, because it looks really cool. He said, "No, I'm not worried about that. I mean, like if you're mentally stable." He didn't say that. I forget exactly what he said, but that was what he meant. And at that point I realized he meant that, like, there are people that jump off this bridge. And once I made that connection, I was like, oh, you mean that kind of thing. Yeah, you don't have to worry about me. I promise I'm of sound mind. Like, I introduced myself to him, and said, like, yeah, I'm from Michigan. I'm just here for the summer, bought a GoPro, and I thought this would be a really cool thing to get a time lapse of. And he was like, all right. Well, you know, as long as everything's all right, then we're good. And I was like, okay, cool. And then they left. And then, you know, I was letting the time lapse go, and I took off my backpack. I called up my friend, and I was just talking, you know, kind of just leaving the time lapse as was, just pacing around the bridge, laughing, sharing stories, that kind of thing. And then maybe another half an hour, 40 minutes pass, and they drive back up, and they're like, "Hey, you know, are you sure everything's all right? We're not really comfortable with what's going on here." And I didn't, like, in the moment, I didn't really understand how bad it looked. But I was like, you know, I was totally complying, like, okay, you know, if you're not comfortable with me being out here, that's fine. I can head out. It's only open for another 20 minutes anyway. And they're like, yeah, we just, you know, this has happened before, and someone did something very similar to you. And I was like, oh. And I asked a little bit more about it, and apparently there was someone that came from Germany here last November and did something very similar, where they had a video camera, like, propped up like this. I don't know if it was a GoPro or a phone or what. And then they said their goodbyes, and they, like, paced around. And apparently the security officers here, the Rangers, stopped and asked if they were okay and everything. And that person said yes, like, they were fine, in a very similar way that I did the first time. And then I guess while the Rangers were driving away, they saw in the rearview mirror that person jumped off the bridge. And as that was kind of explained to me, and he talked about, like, how I started, like, pacing back and forth, and I was on the phone, and I took my backpack off, and I had the GoPro there. That's, like, every single red flag that they have in training, that, like, something's wrong. Which, now that I hear that, like, in retrospect, is totally fair. And, like, I don't blame them in the slightest at all, but, like, that's just not something that I had even thought about, like, even remotely, in the moment, even shortly after, until it was explained to me, like, yeah, this is what happened last time. They were even nice enough. They were super cool. Like, the Rangers were super nice and cooperative. They even gave me, like, a refund on the ticket, which they didn't have to do, but they did, and I was super thankful for it. But yeah, that was, oh, excuse me, I'm burping. I don't know, like, part of me wants to laugh a little bit, not because of the situation, but because, like, me as a person, that's never something I've ever, like, considered. You know, I'm of sound mind and state and everything. I don't really have like, issues with self-confidence, or, you know, depression or anxiety or things like that, so on and so forth. And I'm obviously thankful for that, but to not even, like, realize and still display every single red flag that they're taught in training is, like, this person is gonna throw themselves off the bridge, or do something harmful to themselves. Yeah, it was just, I don't know. It was a weird situation that I never thought I'd find myself in, that's for sure. But yeah, so that's why that ended a little short. And I still don't know how I feel about it. I don't feel like bad. I'm very glad like they took the time, and I'm glad they actually like told me like, we're not comfortable with you being here, like you should probably go. Because after it was explained to me like how this worked, hopefully once they realized that I was, of sound mind, like that realization moment when they told me all that was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's totally fair. Like that's, yeah. So, not really the trip I expected. But I mean, I'm still glad I went because the scenery was extremely pretty, and I hope the little time lapse that I did get is super nice. But yeah, that also kind of opened my eyes a little bit into the world around me. Forced me out of my, out of my safe little bubble to think about stuff that I wouldn't normally think about. So yeah, that was a thing that happened. Now I'm probably just I might drive back home. I might look around, see if there's a trail or something. But yeah, don't really have a good way to end that.
All right, I just finished editing this, and now I'm filming the outro. So I hope you enjoyed it. That was one of the weirder trips. I didn't end up putting in the Garden of the Gods the second trip that I went back for that because it's already 17 minutes long. I can add it next time, and it's also like 1 a.m., so I don't really want to add that in right now, too. So leave it at this. I figure this is good enough. If nothing else, then just to keep me honest, to keep posting these videos and keep working through my backlog of stuff that I wanna make videos of, because I think it's a lot of fun, and I like looking back at these a lot. So I want to keep doing it, and yeah, I want to make sure I keep myself on this, at least in the long term. So I don't know when the next one will be. Could be tomorrow, could be in another 3 months, no idea. But yeah, until then.